hours and hours of sweat on my back's got my shirt soaked and sour, and oh, it's already gone. Second night's coming and I'm spinning back around. We're all caught up, can't hear or feel a sound, and oh, it's already gone. And here comes the feeling when you don't got nothing, and all you want to do is get up and start running. You can't hide long cause you know it's gonna start up again. Here's one thing that I know for certain, is life's too short to be worrying about you hurting for long. Oh, it's already gone. Got time but money's not something that's free. Seems the roll of the dice never rolls back to me. And oh, it's already gone. A bird in my hand, two cans in the other, start spinning around. Now here comes another, and oh, it's already gone. And here comes the feeling when you don't got nothing, and all you want to do is get up and start running. You can't hide long cause you know it's gonna start up again. Here's one thing that I know for certain, is life's too short to be worried about you hurting for long. Oh, it's already gone.
Let's try this again, not on mute. How about that, boys? How about we try this intro again, not on mute? That's on me. That's my bad. So excited y'all are here. We're here on a Thursday night. We are breaking down the Falcons game, and something just didn't feel right. Like something like as I was going through, as I was talking, I wasn't looking at the comments. It's just like something in my soul didn't feel right about that start. And I was like, man, like what is it? And then I was like, maybe I muted my mic. And lo and behold, I looked over at my soundboard and my mute button was pressed. I apologize. It's amateur hour around here. We know that. Not a problem. We are going to be previewing the Falcons game. We're going to be talking about what we can pull out from that Falcons game and what we can like look at and actually get from that game, because the Falcons said they're not playing their starters. But I think we can pull a little bit out of it for sure. We have Brian Thomas Jr. We had a little criticism of him. Not criticism, I'd say a critique of him by former Jags receiver Jimmy Smith. So he has a specific critique of Brian Thomas Jr. And so I actually pulled some film from the last two games to see if that criticism and critique was valid. So we're going to take a look at that. And then we're going to talk all things Jags, comments. This is a fan show, if you didn't know. So get into the comments. I try to read all the comments. I haven't clicked on the comments things yet, but gauging on how many there are, I'm guessing you're all going to tell me I was muted, which I know. I know I was muted. I apologize for that. This is a fan show. So get into the comments. If you're watching this after the fact, I appreciate it. I apologize for the beginning part, the muted part. But thanks for watching it on VOD. All these shows go on VOD afterwards. So these shows typically go an hour, although recently these shows have been going like an hour and a half. But hey, well, you know what can you say? We're in Jags season. We got to do it. All right. So we're talking all things Jags. So make sure to get into the comments and tell me your thoughts. We could derail. Even we had a little fast food derailed conversation on the last show. This is actually my third live show in a row. I did a show Tuesday night breaking down the film from the Bucs game. Then I did Wednesday night. I'm on Club Jaguar, which is with Jordan DeLugo and UCF Jaguar. We do a Wednesday night show. And then now again tonight. So this is 3 nights in a row of live streams. And I got to say, I'm actually loving it. So I appreciate it. All right. I'm begrudgingly going to click on the comments tab here just to see. I know it's not going to be pretty. We always shout out the first person in the chat, and it's Charlie Boy who says first. Yes, Charlie Boy, you were first. Congratulations. It's been a Sea Breacher the last couple of shows, so I'm glad it's someone different. I appreciate you being here. Guy says, yo, what up, Guy? Callie Jag says, hey, go, but then corrected it to let's go. Damn it. I get it. We've all been there. Nolly Full Cap, who is a channel member and also entrepreneur, created his own sriracha sauce called Racha Sriracha. Go back and watch my Tuesday night show. We talked about that for a lot. And I will tell you, it's the link is in there and you can buy it. I've been using it all week. I bought some wings from Publix, and typically I'll use different kind of like sauces. Sometimes I'll put honey on wings. I know, like this legit honey. Pretty good. It's pretty good. But I've been using Racha Sriracha all week. So it's been very, very good. Robert Adrid says, damn, we are spoiled with 3 shows in a row. BT, who's also a channel member. We love our channel members around here. Says 5th. We like the self-awareness, BT. We like the self-awareness. Jaggernaut says, what's up, guys? One more sleep. Isaiah Jones says, are y'all looking at the Thursday night football game? I did see the Anthony Richardson touchdown, and then I saw the Anthony Richardson pick 6. So I did see that. I ended up drafting Anthony Richardson on one of my fantasy teams because like he's projected like in my league, he was like the 45th best player. The average draft position was like 50, and we were on like pick like 80, and he was still on the board. Everyone had taken their quarterbacks, so I just went ahead and took Anthony Richardson. Maybe I could trade him. I took Trevor Lawrence like super early, so maybe I could trade him down the road if someone gets hurt. That's what I was thinking. Grant says, Dad, I hope not. I hope not. I'd be in trouble if I have a kid somewhere. Ron Beedry says, what's up, Jaguars? What's up, Ron Beedry? Nolly Full Cap says F, no audio. What's up, boys? Says Michael N. What's up, Michael N? We can't hear you. Audio issue. It was an audio issue, but the issue was that I had pressed the mute button on my soundboard and didn't unmute it. That was the issue. Can't hear. Speak up. Start over. No escuchar. I know, guys. I'm sorry. Can't hear you, Jason. Jags by 69 tomorrow. Interesting number choice there, Grant. Can't hear you. Rewind. No audio. Can't hear. This is even better than the mouse problems. Guys, I'm sorry. If you needed any evidence that I'm not a professional media member, look no further than my audio issues the first minute of this video, and then I had mouse issues, which, interestingly enough, after the show ended, I restarted my computer. Mouse issues went away. So, software issue, not a hardware issue, which I'm happy about. Jason, read your chat. We can't hear you. There you go. There we go. I know, guys. I know, okay? Mouse, I know. Phenomenal beard. Thank you, that dude, Evan, who is also a channel member. So something about me I've talked about on the show before, and I know this is a Jags show, guys. I apologize. We're going to talk about Jags stuff. Okay. All right. So here's what happened, okay? I took like a month sabbatical from YouTube in June. I've been doing YouTube shows since 2020, like at least once or twice a week, religiously. And I was like super like Jags schedule, outline, film. And then after that sabbatical in June, I came back with a completely different mindset where I don't really care as much as I used to. Not that I don't care about you all. And not that I don't care about the Jags, because you guys know I care about you guys. I tell you guys I love you every show, intentionally. And you know I care about the Jags. And I don't always wear like the Jags clothes or the Jags hats. I mean, I have them all, but I like to be myself. I just stopped caring about like caring. I stopped caring about caring what people think about my YouTube videos. So here I am now. Going to talk about my beard. I have this weird genetic trait. It's probably because my mom's Arabic and my dad's English, Irish, German. And the mixture of that turned into somehow from the neck down, I don't grow much body hair. But from the neck up, like beard and head, it grows insanely fast. I got a haircut, I'm not kidding you, like a week and a half ago, I got a haircut. My beard, I shaved probably 8 days ago. I shaved 8 days ago, and I was able to grow this in 8 days. I don't know what genetic trait I got, but the head hair grows out of control. So thank you. I appreciate it. I think I'm going to rock it I'm going to rock it 2 more days, and I'm going to shave it. And I don't have like I don't have one of those electric razors where you can like, just like get it back down to the 5 o'clock shadow. I know they're not expensive. I just can't justify buying it. So I just like straight edge razor, no shaving cream. It like every week is what I do. Okay. I did say I was going to bring Wendy's. Cam Boys for Chandler said but I forgot. And to be fair, I did say I was going to bring it on the Friday night show, and this is a Thursday night show. So if I do a show tomorrow night after the game, I will eat a junior bacon cheeseburger on stream because I ranted about how bad Wendy's is for a long time. Richardson has looked pretty shaky against the Bengals backups. I mean, his first drive was good. Wasn't he like 7 for 8 with a touchdown? And then he just threw that bad pick 6. I'm hoping he does well. I like Anthony Richardson. You did the fast food show, then you did the football Jaguar show. What's tonight about? There's no telling. I don't plan these things. What I do have planned for tonight is to talk about the Falcons and to talk about Jimmy Smith's critique of Brian Thomas Jr. So let's get into that. For the love of God, let's talk about the Jaguars. It's been 13 minutes. So let's talk about. Okay, so the Jags are playing the Falcons. I wish this was a game where they were playing their starters. For some reason, Raheem Morris, he said he's seen enough of Michael Penix Jr. Michael Penix Jr. has played like, I think, 20 snaps in the preseason. Kirk Cousins hasn't played at all, but he's seen enough. So they're not going to play him. I wanted to see AJ Terrell, who just got the huge deal, $81 million deal. I wanted to see Matthew Judon, who they just traded for. I wanted to see all those guys. Unfortunately, we're not going to see them. We will see Clark Phillips III, who's a fourth round pick, rookie defensive back out of Utah, has been playing really well in camp and preseason. So we will get to see him. Wide receiver Chris Blair, cornerback Natron Brooks. They both made the preseason week 2 PFF team of the week. So we will get to see that, which is something. It's something. I'm grasping for straws here, boys. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the Jags better dominate. Like, they better dominate. The starters better go out there and just dominate these backups. And anything less than domination will have me concerned. So it's like the Jags have everything to lose and the Falcons have everything to gain. I don't understand, like, why do you not play Penix Jr. in the preseason? It makes zero sense to me because Kirk Cousins is guaranteed $100 million over the next 2 years. So you got to think their plan is to start Penix Jr. in year 3. If you're not planning on starting him until year 3, why wouldn't you give him every single preseason snap in year 1? Now, I know this is Raheem Morris. And what some people may not realize or remember about Raheem Morris is he just got the job with the Falcons, and he brought over like a bunch of Rams people. He was with the Rams. He was the D coordinator with the Rams, and he brought over Jimmy Lake as a defensive coordinator. Jimmy Lake was the Rams assistant head coach. He was Washington Huskies, the college's defensive coordinator for a number of years, and they had a really good defense. And I actually respect that a lot because Washington was known for their defense. I think they ran like a lot of a 4-2-5 like base defense. They're one of the few teams to like call that their base. And you're not getting like the defensive athletes at Washington that you were getting in like the Southeast, or even just whether it's the SEC or the ACC or, you know, whatever it is. Like, you're not getting those athletes in the Northwest. So the fact that he was able to have a good defense with the players he had is pretty impressive. He also brought over Zach Robinson, who's his offensive coordinator from the Rams, and he had a bunch of roles with the Rams. He was a quarterbacks coach. He was a passing game coordinator. He was a receivers coach. So he basically brought over some of the non-coordinators from the Rams and then like transplanted them into Atlanta. So I have to guess, although we do have some history of Raheem Morris as a head coach, they'll probably look a lot like the Rams. And the Rams and Sean McVay don't play their starters very much in the preseason. So it's not surprising. It's just a little disappointing that we are in this position where we have everything to lose and they have everything to gain. Where are the Wendy's at for tomorrow? Ordered some Racha. What else should I buy, Jason? Listen, BT, I am not going to give you a recommendation of anything that I have not vetted and is not a Jaguars-backed product. So if you have a product, I don't care what it is, and you're a Jags fan, and I'll vet it. I'll make sure that it's good. I'll pump it. But I'm not going to pump something. I'm not going to pump something that I don't believe in. Start with the Racha and then go from there. I have a very injured left rear delt, but what's up? Left rear delt. Oh, man. Let me see. So my delts typically get injured when I'm doing shrugs. I don't know why. I think because like your delts are such small muscles, like as far as like how big the mass of them. And like, so I'm actually very intentional about warming up my delts because I do injure my delts doing shrugs. For some reason, when I jump into shrugs, they like, I feel a little twing in my delts. But take it easy. Yours is very injured, so you got to take it easy. And the delts, like that affects everything. Like that affects all your push movements. That's tough. Take it easy, recover. One tip I can give you about injuries from like the shoulder to the neck, right? All the muscles there. An advanced lifting technique, and I'm not going to go into it now, but you could do a little research on it, is creating torque with your push. Okay, hear me out here. So think about when you're pressing, whether it's a bench press, a push-up, a military press, a shoulder press. What you want to do is you want to imagine yourself like bending the bar. Now, you're not going to be able to bend the bar, or if you're using dumbbells, they're going to turn a little bit. But if you create torque, it actually tightens and strengthens the ligaments and tendons in those connective tissue areas, and it actually allows you to strengthen those areas. And if you don't create torque, you actually are putting yourself at a higher risk of injury. So a lot of people that are new to lifting or don't know much about lifting, they don't know about the generating torque. And you can actually generate torque with every movement. When you're doing squats, you're supposed to generate torque with your lower body. You're supposed to imagine yourself like splitting the ground with your feet. And so just Google it, look it up. Generating torque is one of the best things for preventing injuries when lifting. And again, it is a more of an advanced technique. But any like good athletic trainer or fitness coach should educate you on generating torque very early in your lifting. So try that, Google it. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. I used to get shoulder injuries all the time on chest day, and I don't anymore because I create torque on all my push movements. You can do the same thing with pull. Same thing with pull. Just Google it. Father Jason. I'm religious. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm a religious person. Well, what meaning would I have on life on earth if I wasn't religious? Oh, I need to be a good moral person and support and raise good kids and contribute to society and do more good than get out of here with that. We have a higher calling than that. I'm not afraid to admit it. 100 miles per hour says, I have Anthony Richardson in Dynasty. I hope he throws 77,000 touchdowns, but loses every game. I'm with you there. I was going to watch Thursday Night Football or Jason. Jason always wins. That's not even a choice. Thank you. We're in an era with so many screens. I have 2 computer monitors. I have a phone. You could do both if you really wanted to. Just saying. I love that you chose me. I do. But just saying you could do both. Kyle, who's a channel member. So when this shows up on StreamYard, I used to stream through Streamlabs, and they used to have like emojis if you were a channel member, but now I'm using Streamlabs. The benefit is I can show the comments on the show. The downside is the emojis don't show up. I apologize. That's probably a great Trevor Lawrence emoji, and thank you for being a channel member. I really appreciate that. You noticed you don't care as much. The shows are better. Oh, good. That's good. Thank you, Ron. That actually makes me feel better. It really does. AR doesn't throw the ball. He better run for that many. Yeah. My buddy just texted me about playing Counter-Strike. So I told him I'd play after this show. I'll be on Twitch. After this show, I'll be on Twitch playing Counter-Strike. I'm addicted. I'm sorry. I'm addicted. Follow my Twitch. It'll be right after the show ends. We can talk Jags on there too. I'm just also going to be staring at my primary monitor, which is over here, trying to shoot people in the head. In a video game, not real life. Ron Beedry says, I was going to bring the cheeseburger on Friday night show. LL, give me a break. Okay. That's fair. That's fair criticism. That was a cop-out on my part. Okay, let's at least talk a little bit of Jags. I'm having a lot of fun, but I want to talk a little bit of Jags just so I can continue to call myself a Jags YouTuber. You know what? It doesn't matter. This is my 3rd show in a row. All right. But let's take a look. I do want to actually look at one thing here, and I was actually kind of excited. Let's take a look at the defense that we may see. All right. Let me pull up my screen share here. Screen share, entire screen. This is the one I want right here. All right. Okay, here we go. All right. So I was kind of trying to get a feel for. This is the Brian Thomas Jr. Let's go to the Falcons defense. I was trying to get a feel for what the Falcons defense might look like and what they might run. And basically I went through this Ravens game. I went through a half, and you're going to see a good amount of mixed coverages. You're going to see a lot of cover 2. You're going to see a lot of cover 1, which essentially is what you can expect from modern NFL defenses. I do respect Raheem Morris as a play caller here. So if we take a look here, we have they're going to show 2 high, but because they have kind of a heavier formation because they're in the pistol, they have a back here, so we call this 11 pistol. Because they have all of that, you're going to see this safety is going to roll down. He's not even really hiding it that well, but he's going to roll down there into the box. And sorry that the pause screen's in the way, but this is directly off of NFL Plus, so I'm not even really. I didn't clip these. This is just straight off NFL Plus. So what you will see a lot, and it's going to be hard for you to see, is the Falcons do load the line of scrimmage a good amount. So they have an odd man front. So they basically run a 3-4 as we ran last year. They run the 3-4 defense. So they have their end, their tackle, their end, and then they're going to have their 2 edge players. So a lot of plays, they're going to have like 5 guys at the line of scrimmage, and they're going to play just man coverage pretty much everywhere else. He's going to come down and play man. He's going to get the tight end. He's playing the running back, and he's going to play cover 1 in the middle of the field. So we're going to get to kind of see this team against a man defense. They do run a little bit of cover 2. I think this next play is actually a cover 2. Yeah. So this next play is a cover 2. So they're going to run 2 high safeties here. Probably a cover 2 man. It looks like he's manned up. He's manned up. He's manned up, and they're going to play 2 deep safeties. So these linebackers are going to drop to the middle of the field. So this is going to test Trevor's ability to kind of find the middle of the field here for receivers. So that post route, that skinny post, the deep dig that Gabe Davis runs really well. We'll be able to see that, hopefully. Oh, they do end up bringing this blitzing linebacker. All right, so they bring this linebacker. He blitzes here. So they are going to roll into a cover 1. I'm sorry, I forgot. It's the next play. It's cover 2. Nice job. Nice job. All right, this is the cover 2 play. All right, 2 high safeties. Looks like he's manned up. Obviously, he's inside leverage. He's playing man. He's kind of playing out here, so he's just kind of playing probably a flat here. This could be a cover 6, but I'm not in the huddle. I don't know what they're calling. Come downhill. So not much there. Not much there at all. That was my best attempt at trying to look at what the Falcons may run. I don't know. It's preseason. They're going to run cover 2 and cover 3, cover 1. They're not going to show any of their exotic blitz packages in preseason. Nobody does. What's up, Jason? What's up, Shay? Channel member and one of my favorite commenters. Says, I'll be on the Breaking Bones pod. What? Dude, get out of here. Yes, dude. Yes. All right. So, hey, Siri, remind me on Sunday to listen to the Breaking Bones podcast. All right. So we're going to break down we're going to break down Shay on the podcast. I'm super excited about that. Shay, no pressure. No pressure. You're going to have me and all 33 people in the video right now. A lot more people watching on VOD. I'm just kidding there. I know. But we're going to be breaking down you on Breaking Bones. Oh, gosh, I'm excited. Another thing that I'm excited about is, let me pull it up. So one of you all, let's pull it up here. Let's see who it is. Matthew McCray is coaching a middle school football team. He's the head coach. So we've been talking on Instagram, and I was like, Matthew, you guys might remember, you know Matthew from the chat. I was like, Matthew, you got to send me your game film, and we're going to break down your game film on the show. So their first game's coming up. He's already sent me some clips of them at practice. They're running the wing tee. That's what I'm talking about. They're running the wing. So the pistol, the modern day pistol is essentially like a new version of the wing tee, if you didn't know. So we're going to be breaking down Matthew McCray's coaching middle school game on here. And we're going to be breaking down Shay. That's what we do now, because after the June sabbatical, we do whatever the hell that we want. And I'm not sorry about it. I'm really not. I apologize, guys. Playing backup Jags better dominate. I agree. Penix getting no snaps when he's not supposed to play all year is odd. I agree, Kyle. Channel member. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know how much we can take away if the starters beat up on them. How do we feel if they struggle? Don't want to think. That's what I was saying. We have so much to lose and nothing to gain from this game. So I know Doug Peterson said the starters were going to play for a half. I'd be cool with them playing one drive. I'm being dead ass serious. And I want to see them as much as you all do. But we have 18 weeks to watch them. So we'll be fine. Let's just play a drive. I mean, Andy Reid said that the Chiefs for starters were going to play a whole quarter, and they played one drive. So Doug Peterson, Andy Reid disciple, maybe. I'm cool. If you're not playing the starters, I don't need to see a half of our starters beating up on Falcons backups. If you got a guy who hasn't played a lot, Anton Harrison, you want to leave him for a little bit. You want to leave in some of these guys that, Arik Armstead even. Like, we know what he can do, but he hasn't played a lot. You want to leave him in for a couple series. I'm good with that. But I don't want to see any of these like guys that we know are good playing. There's just too much potential for injury for nothing to gain. Like, you've been practicing. I know it's not the same, but yep, I was doing lat raises with Yeah. Okay. Another side tangent. You want to know a good lat raise exercise? Sit on a incline bench. Okay, so like a bench, like an incline, so a flat bench, 90 degrees, an incline bench. Sit on an incline bench. Get one of those like curl bars, not like the full 45-pound curl bar, but like the ones that have like the different weights. Get one of those, and then like reverse grip, delt raise it. Thank me later. Thank me later. Reth Kim says, right here, why are you always starting a live stream when I am working out? All good. Love the stream since you were talking about workouts, doing obliques, abs, and forearms today. I like that. I like that. Now listen. I will tell you something about obliques. There's certain muscle groups, and this may not pertain to you. You may be married. You have a long-term girlfriend. This may not pertain to you. I'm not talking to you right now, okay? However, what I have noticed with my anecdotal experience is that the ladies, there's certain muscle groups that really turn the ladies on. Obliques, that's the side abs right there. Back muscles, so like the back muscles. And then they like a vascular-looking arm, okay? So basically, you got to just cut your body fat down. There's no nicer way to say it, but the less body fat you have, the more vascular you can look. It is what it is. That's what I've noticed anecdotally. So forearms, abs, and obliques, you're on your way. The back too, it just does something to them. I don't know what it is. It just does something to them. So you're on the right track there, Reth. Get some lat pull downs in, some pull-ups of, reverse grip, front grip. You're golden. You think the Falcons or Bucs win the division? Falcons are favored. I think the Bucs win the division. I think the Bucs have more like pedigree around them. I think they have more experienced coaching staff and more experienced players, and I like their quarterback better. Kirk Cousins, I like Kirk Cousins. The Falcons just haven't shown it to us yet. Like they have all these big name guys like Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson and Drake London, right? They're all big names, but like, what have they done actually? And I know the trades and the people they've added is good. If I'm betting, I'm taking the Bucs. I could see the Falcons winning, but that would be a huge turnaround in just 1 year, and typically that doesn't happen in the NFL. You don't see teams go from like bottom dweller to the best typically very often. It happens, but it doesn't happen very often. Raiden says, hello. What's up, Pokey? Kyle Simmons says, amen. I'm late, but I'm here, says Volk Fang channel member. Well, I'm glad you're here, Volk Fang. I feel like you're always late. Come on, man. Time management. Falcons, Bucs, maybe the Saints. I don't know, man. The Saints just, I don't know. I don't trust the quarterback. I don't trust the weapons. I don't trust the defense. I don't trust the coach. A lot of things I don't trust there, and I have trust issues. Robbie says, I do both. I watch you on my TV and I text on my phone. I guess I could dual screen, but Jimmy Smith does have. Okay, let's move into this Jimmy Smith thing. All right. So Jimmy Smith said, and I have it for you right here. Jimmy Smith said, responding to Gene Fournette. Press Taylor says rookie Brian Thomas Jr. isn't where he needs to be for the season opener, but likes the progress and the, quote, steps he's taken as camp went along. Expects him to get to where he needs to be for week 1. And then Jimmy Smith says, got to get his stance down at the line of scrimmage. Okay. So I was like, wow. Like, I actually had a season where I coached wide receivers. So, like, I've coached the proper stance. So, typically, I'm one that can quickly digest and analyze that. I didn't notice that. But Brian Thomas Jr. hasn't played a bunch, so maybe that's why. So, I went back and pulled some clips here. And he's got kind of a point, kind of has a point, kind of doesn't. So I think what he's talking about, and the biggest issue here, is that when I went through and watched some of these games, this is Brian Thomas Jr. here. The only issue I'm seeing is like he has too much weight on his back foot and his hands aren't up when he's being pressed. Okay. I'll show you another clip here in a second. But basically, the reason why those are big things is because if you don't have enough weight on your front foot, then when you release, and the release is basically at the snap when you run forward, there's a potential for you to have a false step because you have to like reallocate your balance from your back foot back to your front foot. And we can even see up here, like you can see he's actually like has the proper weight on his foot. So if you take a look at these two here, he's got the weight distribution of his feet proper. Brian Thomas Jr., you can tell, is a little bit high. He's not being pressed, so he doesn't need his hands up. But when you're being pressed, you want to start with your hands up so that you can hand combat at the line of scrimmage. So those would be the two things I think Jimmy Smith is talking about. When we play this through and look at the release, he's blocking. So not a big deal. So then I was like, all right, not a big deal. Then I went on to this play here. This was in the Chiefs game. And this actually gives you a better look at kind of what he should be doing. So this is Brian Thomas Jr. and this is Gabe Davis. Okay, for context. So look at how Gabe Davis is. Got the proper weight. Look how he's got his weight on his front foot. He's got his hands up, ready to engage the press. This is how Brian Thomas Jr. should have looked on the last play. And when we take a look at him here, he's just got so much weight on his back foot. He's got his hands down, which I think is fine in this situation because he's not being pressed. But here's the thing. When you play the play through, he releases and he gets open. But would he have been more open if he would have done that? So let's take a look at his release again. Like, does he take a false step? Does he have to transition his weight? Let's take a look. Yeah, he did. So this is quick, boys. This is quick. All right. So take a look when I play it back, because I have to wait 10 seconds to play it back correctly. All right. So take a look at Brian Thomas Jr. What you're going to see is, and this is what Jimmy Smith's talking about, at the snap of the ball, Brian Thomas Jr. actually has to rock his weight back for like half of a second and then release forward. Doesn't seem like a big deal, but in football, it's a game of inches, and this release could cost him an inch or two. Take a look at it again. Watch how he has to rock his weight back and forth, even for a microsecond. Take a look. See, it was quick, and he's a fast guy, so he can actually compensate for it. But it's those little things that a guy like Jimmy Smith is going to notice that he could fix, and I'm sure the receiver coaches are getting onto him for that. That could be the difference, though. So good call by Jimmy Smith, I will say. I didn't notice it, but he's got a point. God, I hate when the notifications don't show up. Well, yeah, I guess it's true. So this is a Thursday night show, so I kind of threw you guys off. I did tweet about it, so if you follow my Twitter, you would have known, but it's okay. It's okay. Typically, it's Tuesdays and Fridays, so you don't need notifications. You can just set your phone alarms to Tuesdays and Friday nights. And I'm thinking about doing a show tomorrow night after the game. I always say that, and admittedly, I find myself in a state unable to do a live show after Jags games. And that's on me. That's on me. That's pure amateurism. I apologize. I like to enjoy myself when I watch the games. And sometimes I don't want to come on here and look like even more of an idiot than I already do. Say Breacher, channel member, and one of my favorite commenters. I got to say, I sometimes like late at night when I'm trying to sleep, and, you know, the weight of the world is on your shoulders and you're thinking about everything that happened throughout the day. Sometimes I think to myself, man, was I a little too mean to C Breacher on the show today? And so I got to give you guys a little bit of context. Me and C Breacher, we play video games together. So we kind of have a relationship that's a little bit deeper than the average commenter. So if it seems like I'm throwing shade at C Breacher all the time, it's because that's how I treat my friends. And I respect C Breacher. He's awesome. He's probably my favorite commenter. He's always here. He's hilarious. That being said, how this man still has not secured a Wi-Fi internet access. Last night, So he hasn't had internet in like 2 weeks. Last night he sends me a picture of the AT&T fiber internet installers on strike, and he's like, "They're on strike, man." I can't. The lengths that this guy goes to defend himself to not having Wi-Fi internet is mind blowing and respectful at the same time. But come on, dude, get internet. When I moved into my house, it took me less than 24 hours to get internet. You don't want some undrafted linebacker hurting someone just to make a name for themselves. They did talk about this on the local radio today on the they call it the I almost said Doug Marone on the Doug Peterson show. Loggeman and JP Shadrick were talking about it, and basically Loggeman said that could happen on like a fluke play, but he said that he thinks that starters who are actual starters in regular NFL games are going to play more physical than backups are, and that they're backups for a reason. So that was his reasoning. It kind of makes sense, but I see what you're saying. The logic does make sense. Some guy trying to like make a play and then like injuring a guy. I agree. The Duval Dive. What up, Duval Dive? Duval Dive is awesome. Follow him. Follow all his stuff. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. Click on his name. Subscribe to everything. He's great. He's awesome. I want to try to find a time where he can come on the show. I'm thinking maybe, I mean, obviously it's depending on his schedule. He's probably a busy person, but I'm going to reach out and I'm going to try to get the Duval Dive on here very, very soon. He said, I would play the O-line and D-line for at least a quarter, if not a half. Trevor and all the skill players can sit after 1 to 2 drives, in my opinion. So here's the only issue, and I get what you're saying there. I do. It makes sense, but I would argue that those trenches players are actually at a higher risk for injury than the skill players. The skill players can run out of bounds. The skill players can like slide. The skill players can like avoid a big hit. The trenches guys might just get fell on from the side and now they have a knee injury. So I actually think the O-line, D-line guys are at a higher risk of injury than the skill players. So if it's me, like Trevor can protect himself. He can throw the ball away if a guy gets close at all. The skill players can run out of bounds if a guy's getting close to avoid a big hit. The O-line, D-line, fluky stuff happens in those trenches. So I would actually argue to play the skill players. I understand they're more important in our minds because they get the yards and the stats and we have them in fantasy. But as far as like team, I think they're just as important and at a higher likelihood for injury. Just my 2 cents. Steven Giles says, as for starters playing tomorrow, it would be good for ETN to actually see some running lanes for once. Yeah, I don't know. Steven Jones, yo, first time catching a live stream. Great content. I watched the last one. I'm late. Did he eat the Wendy's? Okay. I already defended myself on the Wendy's. I said on the show Tuesday that I was going to eat the Wendy's on the Friday night show. I get how that can sound like a cop-out. But if I do a show tomorrow night and I do eat Wendy's on the show tomorrow night, I'm a man of my word. So that's my plan. Tomorrow night, I'm not gonna put it on Twitter. I'm not gonna put it on Instagram. I'm not gonna tell anybody that I'm doing a live show tomorrow night because chances are I'm not gonna be in a great state and it won't be a good show. I promise you that. So I will try to, if you have to Uber Eats it, I will Uber Eats a Wendy's burger and I will do a show tomorrow night. I'm hoping, and it will be terrible. The show will be terrible. I will be close to incoherent, but I will eat a freaking junior bacon cheeseburger on the show. You have my word on that. Okay. You have my word. We should look at every Brian Thomas Jr. route ran in his half last week. Let me see here. I have the Chiefs game up right. I have both games up. Okay, here's him again. Again, yeah, hands not up. You're impressed. Your hands, but Gabe Davis isn't either. Hands aren't up. He does have his weight back. Look at the weight distribution. This is a big thing for the false steps at the release. A little bit more weight forward, a little bit more weight forward. So if you take a look here at Gabe Davis, you'll actually see like what they teach receivers their weight distribution to be. So have you ever seen somebody run a 40-yard dash and they like put one hand on the ground like a track sprinter. Like a track sprinter puts like one hand on the ground and then like they shoot off. They do that because that's the fastest way to release off of the blocks. So what they teach receivers is to like simulate the weight distribution, get in that track 40-yard dash stance, and then bring your upper body up. And then the way that your weight is distributed on your feet is how it should be on your release. So you could see here, Gabe Davis is doing just that. Like if he dropped his shoulders and put his hand on the ground to run a 40-yard dash, his weight would probably be very similar to this, like a 90-10, 90 on the front, 10 on the back. Here you can see Brian Thomas Jr. It looks like he's just standing up. So again, a very valid point from Jimmy Smith. A very valid point. The coaches will get on him for that too. Additionally, get those hands up. If you're getting pressed, you have to have those hands up ready to hand combat because that battle is won with your hands typically. Some receivers can release well and win with their feet, but those are very rare and exceptional players. This would be a situation where you want to hand-to-hand combat. Do they score here? No. Let's see if he's on the next play. Yeah, again. Look at. I mean, again, I want to see your hands up here. If you're Gabe Davis, man, a lot of dropped hands here, boys. These two I'd be okay with. This one I'd like to see the hands up in your pre-snap. Again, the weight's not good. Jimmy was onto something. He really was. My split is legs, all of them. Tuesdays, triceps and shoulders and chest. Wednesdays, biceps and back. And I already told you Thursday. Friday is more enjoying myself playing basketball and pool. Listen, as far as your splits go, you got to find like what works for you. Everybody's split is different. Like if you can incorporate basketball in like a pool session, you're good. Like you are absolutely fine. What I found works for me, and I'm old. I'm 35, so I don't have the young, spry adult league. I used to play adult league flag football for a long time. I used to play basketball, pickup basketball all the time. I'm a little bit older now. I play golf. Golf is my recreational activity now. I hate to say it, but it is. I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. If you don't like golf, do it and you'll like it. If you do like golf, you know what I'm talking about. My split that I found works for me is I actually have a 6-day split. So I do a leg day where I focus on like the push portion of my legs. So those are squats, lunges, anything quad focus, right? Like the presses, the step ups, things like that. Then I move into a chest day where I just do chest. Then I move into a back day where I just do back. Then on the 4th day, I do a second leg day where I focus on my quads and my glutes, and I do a pull day. So those are things like deadlifts. Those are things like single leg deadlifts, hamstring curls, things of that nature to work like those specific portions. Some people argue on that pull leg day, you should work your whole kinetic chain of the pull in your lower body, which does move into like the lower back exercises. And some people even argue traps on those days. Then after that second leg day, I move into a shoulder day, just shoulders. So shoulder presses. I'll maybe work in one pull shoulder, but that's about it. And then I do an arm day, which was today was, and that's just bicep, triceps. And I just work the arms, and then I take a day off. So it's a 6-day split, but don't hear me wrong. I don't go 6 consecutive days. There's times when I can't make it to the gym because of work or whatever reason. So whatever day I left off of, I just pick up on the next day. So I don't have a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday. I have a 6-day split, and then whatever day I'm on at the gym is the day I'm on at the gym. It could be a Monday, it could be a Sunday. It doesn't matter, but that's the split that I do. And I would recommend it to anyone looking for a new split because it actually allows you to kind of focus on muscle groups individually. Like I said, you have a chest day individually, you have a back day individually. And when you spend 45 minutes working just your chest or just your back, you see some serious gains there. So that's what I'd recommend. Also, you get the triceps in on the chest day, you get the biceps in on the back day. So you are also working those arm muscles, and then you have the arm day. And then wherever you want to work in abs, I do shoulder day, I work in abs. Cardio, whenever you work in cardio, work in that. That's my recommendation. See if he actually can run routes or just go ball guy. He can run. I'm not going to evaluate him off of 2 preseason games. I think he hasn't played that many snaps. So let's wait. I get it, 100 miles per hour, but let's just wait before we evaluate that. All I heard is Jason say he gets the ladies. I'm 35 and never been married. I've been in a lot of relationships. I've been in a lot more than I should have. So although if you're looking for like end product advice, maybe not the guy to ask. If you're looking for like dating advice, I can give you all the tea. All right. So I'll preface it with that. If you're like, hey, Jason, how do I find a wife? Don't ask me that question. Never been married. If you're like, hey, what's the best way to approach asking this girl out or like keeping this relationship alive? That I can give you advice on. Good advice on. I know my lane. I'm not living in la la land. I'm not oblivious. Okay. I know my lane. All right. Steve Smith said in his pre-draft analysis that the LSU wide receivers are coached to stand up at the line. Michael, that is great information. I'm glad you told me that. I wonder why. I'm trying to think why. Like, is it so they don't give like keys away on run plays when they're run blocking? I don't know. Because I was looking for that initially. I was like, does Brian Thomas Jr. stand up when he's run blocking and then like get into the receiver stance when he's running a route? And then that would be a giveaway for the defense. But he stands up, but appears to be every time. So, but that's good information. I guess we could go look at some Malik Neighbors film. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow night and see what Neighbors does and see his stance. But very good point, Michael. That's why you guys are the best. That's why this show is the best and you guys are the best. That's a great comment right there. Hey, Jason. What's up, Ben? Excited for this season. If our interior O-line doesn't hold up, Balky and co are going to look so bad. Got to be able to hit a damn 3rd and 1 sometimes. I agree wholeheartedly with that comment. And I just now realized how behind I am on comments. And I really apologize, guys. We'll fly through these super fast. Okay. Deal. All right. Ben says, also appreciate your balance to the Club Jaguar. Yeah. I definitely do bring a balance to it. It's not better than anyone else. It's just, it's a great word. It's balance. It's a yin and yang type thing for all you Taoists out there, right? So you got to have both, right? I'm maybe the guy who doesn't think so much before he talks. I'm maybe the guy that gets his emotions a little too wrapped up in what he's saying, and I'm maybe the guy who enjoys playing a little devil's advocate sometimes. I do feel, I do kind of feel like sometimes I have imposter syndrome on that show because it's like Jordan DeLugo is like literally like Jags. He's got like press credentials. UCF Jaguar is the largest Jags YouTuber, like by a lot. And then there's me. I'm usually a couple cocktails deep when we're doing the show. Like I said, I'm totally expecting by October them to be like, hey, I think we're gonna go a different direction. If you're unable to do a show, that sounds like fun. I know, and that's why I don't feel bad in the moment when it happens, Ron. Kev says the meanness needs to stay communal toward Balky from the fandom. Clown. Dan Middlebrooks. What up, Jace? Over under for Jags win total. I say under first. I think it's under 500 at 8-9. So to be fair, Dan is not a Jags fan. He's a Bucks fan. And he's probably a little salty that we took the win from them last week. I haven't even talked to him about that yet. But he'll probably stick to his claims that the starters didn't play that much. And, it wasn't a fair representation of the Bucks, which is fine. But so then I would retort to Dan. What do you say to all the people that said that in the joint practices, the Jags dominated the Bucks? What would you say to that? So again, he could probably find some, something to say there. I do respect Dan a lot. He's an awesome guy. Definitely over. I think 9 wins is considering Trevor stays healthy, 9 wins is the floor. 11 wins is the ceiling. I know it's a small window there, but if you're asking me what I truly believe, that's what I believe. Depending on injuries, the luck of the draw, depending on like awkward penalties or fumbles or things like that, awkward injuries that affect us that aren't Trevor. I think 9's the floor for sure. I can't watch JP and Logs anymore, but I do enjoy Prisco and Baselli and try to ignore JP. I don't hate JP Shadrick. He doesn't really add much to the conversation. He's kind of like either an instigator or someone that's just kind of like plays dumb for comedic effect, which he's carved out a great career in a lane. So I'm not going to say it hasn't worked or it's bad, but to me, he doesn't add much. I really think Loggeman is pretty good. I bet Seabreacher has a better. That's the lie of the century. Seabreacher folds into 7 different pieces, climbs into my backpack, and I carry him through every game that we play. That's all you need to know about Seabreacher. That's all you need to know. My earlier logic, this is from Duval Dive, Travis Holmes. My earlier logic was about the O-line, D-line units was less about injury and more about them needing. No, I know, I got that. Whereas the skill players were more on an island. Yeah. No, yeah. Like, I agreed with that, Duval Dive. Like, I do agree with that. That point is valid, and I agree with you wholeheartedly, 100%. I'm more concerned about injuries than cohesion, I guess. Because I guess my train of thought and my logic is like, if it takes 3 weeks for cohesion to develop, I'm okay with that. But I'm not okay with an injury to a Mitch Morse or a Cam Robinson or a Anton Harrison. That's my only line of logic. But I knew what you were saying. Stephen Jones says Wendy's is bomb, in my opinion. We're not doing this. We're not doing that tonight. We're not doing that tonight, Stephen, with a P. We're not doing that tonight. Baconator should be the burger you get from Wendy's, to be honest, for the fair assessment. As for Brian's stance, it's going to take some time to change it. Thankfully, he has 2 veterans to teach him. All right, so I'll get a Baconator and a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. Does that sound good to you guys? I'll get both. Okay, I'll get both. Kyle, channel member. Hopefully, Jimmy has the access to tell BTJ and not just through Twitter. I don't think he does. And I saw people on Twitter, they're like, oh, he should be a coach. Or I don't know if it was Reddit or Twitter or whatever it was. I'm not going to say anything bad about Jimmy Smith, but I don't think they're going to let him anywhere near the organization in a coaching aspect. He's not a Keenan McCardell as far as coaching goes. Isaiah Jones says, honestly, I don't know that you needed to have hands up in the NFL. I figured it was a high school thing. I guess I just would point to that clip that we saw earlier where Gabe Davis did have his hands up. And I thought that, like, okay, maybe they do that. But you could be right. President says, I'm probably going to be going into a furniture store job within the next week or so. Is it commission-based or is it salary-based? You better figure that out before you get the job. And you better be able to move some furniture. I wish I could help you out. I'll promote your furniture store, Brett. Send me the deets. I bought my furniture for my house a long time ago, and I still have it. It's typical dude furniture. I live by myself. I'm a single dude. I live by myself. It's typical dude furniture. When people walk into my house, they're like, oh, a dude lives here. I'm like, I have an entire room dedicated to instruments and Jaguars YouTube. I hope this is a dude house. I really do. Reth says, I am good for my workouts. Literally was 300 pounds 2 years ago and 212. Hell yeah, dude. For beginners, go to machines first. The biggest backfire to working out is injuries, and machines will get you your form. That's awesome, Reth. Congratulations. I love it. Dude, I love seeing people do well. Memorized. Move to free weights once you are stronger or stay on machines as long as you're doing something. Good point. Just move. Get out there and move. When I'm at the gym, I usually do the banana split. I like Ron. And I know Ron's probably he's probably a few rolls deep right now, if you know what I mean. And he's probably enjoying himself. He's probably nice and relaxed, and he's probably enjoying this show. And I just want to take a second, Ron, to say I appreciate you, and I appreciate everything that you stand for. JDR_Prague says, yo, Jason, what are your top 3 courses you like playing in Jacksonville? Mine are Jack's Beaches, Queen Harbor, and Hidden Hills. Okay. I won't spend a long time on this because people might leave because not everyone golfs. You should golf. Golf is amazing. This is a loaded question because there's courses in Jacksonville that are private I have not played. Never played Timuquana. I've never played. What's the other one? Pablo Creek, right? I never played those. Never played. I've never even played Stadium Course at TPC. I'm sure those would be in anyone who's played them's top 3. For the ones that I've played, if we're not differentiating between public and private courses, and obviously for you non-golfers, private courses, you have to be a member to play or know a member. Okay, so just between all of them, I'll give you my favorites. Number 1, my favorite is Atlantic Beach Country Club. Private course, amazing course. The greens are great. It's kept in great shape. It's very challenging. I like it. It challenges my game because I'm more of a long ball player, and it's not a short course, but it rewards finesse and accuracy, which I like to be challenged in that way. Atlantic Beach is number 1. Number 2, Jax Beach. I have the member pass there. I golf there so much. I know everyone that works there. I play there. I've played there probably 20 times more than any other course. I love it. I shoot my best rounds there. I love it. Number 3 is probably Marsh Landing, which is, again, another private course, but Marsh Landing plays like Queens Harbor as far as like the marsh and like the hazards, but it's a better maintained course than Queens Harbor. So if you like Queens Harbor, then you'll really like Marsh Landing. And I actually don't really like Hidden Hills that much because although there is like elevation changes, the way the course is laid out is it tends to have a lot of backup and slow play just from the way it's laid out. I know it's an Arnold Palmer course, but like the way it's laid out, it just like it tends to yield to slow play. And I get antsy. I don't want to sit and watch 2 groups ahead of me and take 10 shots to get to the green. So, but good list though. Good list for sure. Carson Shack says, "Oh yes, we are back." Reth says, "What's funny about the Steve Smith video is his comparison of Brian was Brandon Ayuk. And the video was released amidst when the Jags. Oh. Also, he does look like Coach Tomlin." Steve Smith. "Sea Breach sucks, but he can't even get Wi-Fi." If you're not hardlining your internet anyways when you're gaming, like, what are you doing? Like, come on. Like, what are we doing here? Steve Smith had a lot of good things to say about Brian Thomas Jr., said he was more athletic than Neighbors. I think that's true. Do all dive, I agree, but Selly says the only way that the line gets better is by repetition. Okay, so maybe you guys are onto something. Man, furniture talk brings me back to those days when H.H. Craig was still around. Those dudes let you haggle like you were in Jamaica. Yeah. I mean, I bought my furniture. I think I got my couch. I got like a little like 2-person couch next to it. I got my dining room table and my coffee table for like all under $1,500. The high life, baby. The high life. Steven Giles says, "Do we get a live lesson tonight? Like how to find reliable internet service?" I feel like I've given some life lessons tonight. I talked about the muscle groups that girls find the most attractive. I've talked about the best workout split. Robbie says, "I want to move to Duval. Home ownership in California is not worth the price." So, I mean, I've been to California. I took a surf trip out there a long time ago, and great, like, scenic state. I haven't been out there recently, so I've heard there's issues with like homeless people and drug addicts and cost of living. Can't speak to that because I haven't been there. But as far as the scenic views and the weather, California is number 1. Shay says, "Pablo Creek ruins the normal golf I can't afford to play." Shay, we need to play around. Shay. I'll hit you up on Twitter. We'll play around. I play all the time. I love golf. It's so much fun. I know we've talked about golf a lot on this show, but like if you're not someone that golfs, let me try to convince you. Number 1, it's competitive as shit. Like you can make it as competitive as you want. Like you can bet on each hole, you can bet on the total rounds, and like you can always get better. Or you can go out there and just like hack at the ball and have fun. It's a great combination. There's not a lot of other activities that you can make competitive if you want. Maybe pickleball, but even then you either have to enter a tournament or play recreationally. Golf, you can just pick whichever one you want to do. The second thing is you're outside. Being outside is awesome. Like, you know, whatever the weather is, you know, you're outside. It's great. The third thing is You can consume beverages while you're doing the activity. That's competitive. What other competitive activity can you consume beverages? Well, I play kickball in adult league. Boring, lame. Go play golf. There's a sharp learning curve, but all good things in life do have a sharp learning curve. So get out there, get on the range, get you a used set of golf clubs, watch some YouTube videos, and I promise you, you will be addicted in the first few times you go. I remember I hit the emergency button one time in the hospital because golf was on and I couldn't reach the remote. That's a true golf fan right there. John Tom says, Jason, I know the O-line is not a favorite subject for you, but I was wondering if you had to make one O-line change, what would it be? I mean, admittedly, I really don't love what we have going on at right guard. I don't really trust Brandon Sheriff. That would be probably 1A for me. 1B is I don't really think Ezra Cleveland's that good either, and I want to be proven wrong. But, like, not only has he not shown us here in Jacksonville that he's good, but he was willingly traded by the Vikings for a better player, which is another strike against him. And to be honest, I know we have a small sample size and we have not seen a lot. But Mitch Morse has not looked good either. So we're hoping they figure it out. The cohesion that Duval Dye was talking about, maybe that'll come with it. But I'm worried. I am worried. Jags Beach is so much fun. Would love to play ABCC. Yeah, so I got a couple connections at ABCC. I got one of my good friends is a member, so I play with him. And then one of my other good friends runs the pro shop there, so I can play with him too. So I played there a lot. Great course. Don't forget to thank you, Robbie. Give the stream a like. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're watching this after the fact and you've made it an hour and 6 minutes in, leave a comment. I heard that helps. 2 rest days from working out. You don't need rest days. You don't need rest days. If your body, like, you gotta listen to your body. You don't need a rest day. You can go walk on the treadmill on the highest incline for 20 minutes. And that's not a rest day, but you're resting most of your muscle groups besides your legs. If your legs are dead, go into the gym and get on the foam roller for 15 minutes. Go through some yoga positions. Google it. It'll help you. Find ones that you like. You don't have to look weird. Just find some movements that you like and elongate your muscles. That's active recovery. You should take rest days, but on those rest days, you should be actively recovering. Foam roller, stretching, sauna, cold tub, whatever it is for you. Rest days are a myth. I'm sorry to tell you. I get it. Rest the muscle, but you have so many. That's why I do a 6-day split. But I'm telling you, you can. Yeah. Volleyball is fun too. Volleyball is fun. I do like volleyball. I'm an athletic director, so I'm around volleyball all the time. Very fun. It exerts a lot of energy, but it is fun. I have a friend I used to work with. When him and I play golf, we play cup up, and whenever someone says cup up, we'll have to drink. So basically, how me and my friends play golf is every time we see the cart girl, we do a shot. And that does the trick for us. Home gym worth it. Definitely. I have at my house, I have a barbell, like a legit 45-pound barbell. I have like a handful of weights I can add to it. And then I have dumbbells like 20 through 60. And the problem with the home gym is I've never motivated to do it, and I never get as good of a workout at home as I do at the gym. So when I go to the gym, like sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm already here. Like there, because the notion that like you're gonna just be motivated to work out every day is false. The last 2 weeks for me at work have been excruciating. The hours have been terrible. And when I get to the gym, I go to the gym after work. For the last 2 weeks, I've been dead. But if I go to the gym, I'm like, I'm here. So while I'm here, let me just do like this. And then I'm like, oh, should I leave? It's like, oh, I'm here. Let me just do this as well. And then you're also around people that are like working hard. Maybe you're around some like jacked dude and you're like, oh, dang, dude, like that is pretty jacked. Or maybe you're around like a chick who's looking pretty good and you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to push it a little bit because she's like right there in the machine next to me. something psychologically helps me when I'm at the gym. If you're this insane person that can motivate themselves to work out at home, do it. I will say that brief moment in Florida when everything was shut down for COVID, I had to work out at home, and I was thankful that I had that home gym equipment. But for me, I'm a person. I'm not perfect, boys. I'm not, and I'm someone that has to be motivated by my environment, and sometimes I'm not motivated by my home gym environment. Is the only thing I'd say. But definitely have some stuff. The fun part of golf is drinking part. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. What's your favorite brew? Shout out to Wicked Barley for craft beers. You should check it out if you haven't. I'm more of a liquor guy, not because I'm an alcoholic, but just because I've noticed at my advanced age that the carbs I consume through beer don't do well for my body composition. So I will do like a vodka water, tequila water, maybe soda water, maybe a diet Sprite. So, I don't want to consume a bunch of calories if I don't have to. John Tom says, Jason, if you could coach a sport other than football, what would it be? So I played soccer most of my life. So I played football and I played soccer. And actually, I was a better soccer player than I was a football player. I played soccer at a really high level for most of my life. So I have coached soccer for a long time. I don't like playing soccer, but when I stopped playing soccer, I was done with it. I didn't want to touch a soccer ball ever again. 10 years later, I started coaching it, kind of messed around with it, had some fun. So probably soccer to answer your question. Is Shadrick's? It's JP Shadrick's voice. Trebe! What a special freaking, what a surprise, dude. Trebe, Trebe, like when I was like first getting started in Jaguars content, I've told you guys before, I was doing the podcast with some buddies, and like Trebe was also like kind of starting his content stuff. And me and Trebe have like had massive respect for each other ever since then. And I love following him. He moved out to the freaking God knows where, Northwest, Idaho, or freaking Montana, wherever the hell he is. And he's covering stuff out there. Super talented guy. Man, Trebe, I appreciate you being here. That's awesome. Yeah, let's go. Let's go, Trebe. Dude, me and Trebe, like, I'm serious. Like, if you were to ask me like who my favorite content creators were, and I'm talking all-time content creators of anything. Okay, there is this one YouTube channel called The Fall of Civilizations. If you're a history guy like myself, it's called Fall of Civilizations. Look it up right now. And basically, this guy does these hour-long videos and podcasts. It started as podcasts, now it's videos, where he talks about different civilizations all throughout history and like how they rose to power and like how they fell from power. It's absolutely amazing. If you're a history guy like myself, you will have content for the next 6 months. Fall of Civilizations. That's probably number one for me. Number two, probably Trebe. I love Trebe. He's a good guy, dude. I like good people. I like good people. That's why I call you guys. You're the most handsome guy in Jags YouTube. Thanks. Appreciate that. Idaho. You only saw that because you haven't watched my YouTube channel. Fall of Jags United. How does this channel fall, right? You can't fall if you were never elevated. And so I don't think I have to worry about a fall because there's no ever elevation there. I guess I have Club Jaguar. That's pretty cool. Okay, hour 13, hour 14. Let's call it there, boys. Let's call it. I appreciate you guys all being there. Being here tonight. I appreciate it. The channel members, thank you. The commenters, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm sorry we couldn't break down more stuff. It's preseason week 3. Falcons guys aren't starting. We went off the rails tonight, but that's okay. I still had fun, and I had fun because you guys were here. So I really, really appreciate that. So Trebe, on my last show, I talked about the podcast before. So Just because you weren't here last show doesn't mean I didn't talk about it. Okay, that's how I got my start into this. Okay, I talk about it. We had the tank top. We had the tank for Trevor's where we wear tank tops because when we were tanking for Trevor Lawrence, that was the era of that podcast. Not as fun though, because YouTube's way better and I can talk with you guys on the comments. So I do appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. I'm going to try to do a show tomorrow night. It's 50-50. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I want to. So I will try. So I'll try to be here tomorrow night talking Jags. I'll get the Wendy's. I'll get all that stuff. So I'll see you guys. I love you too, Tree. I love you too. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Make sure to follow everything in the video description. Shay says, like and subscribe. Imagine the next 2 weeks with no film to break down. Going to be rough. We can talk about golf. We can talk about exercise. We can talk about how to get girls if you're not married or have a long-term girlfriend. Leave a like and comment. Sed and Sesko, dude, what is this? This is a blast from the past. How did this happen? Sed and Sesko. He didn't. I didn't see you very much last season, Seaton. I didn't see you very much. I don't know why. I didn't see you. I hope I see you this season. I hope I do. Thank you guys for being here. I always like to say, I love you guys. You guys are the best. Like and leave a comment. Everything. Listen, I'm authentic. I talk my mind. I'm sorry. And it's even worse now than it was before. So sorry, Treat. But I'm not going to stop. I'll see you guys very soon. I'm going to jump on Twitch after this. The Twitch is in the video description if you want to keep talking. I don't know if you want to or not. This has been a long show. I know you were there, but you didn't do our games. You didn't do our. I don't think you did our game a single time. No, okay. So Seaton's a soccer ref. I coached the last 2 years. I'm not coaching this year. I don't have time to coach. I couldn't find. I tried to get you to coach our team. Okay. Figure out what you make in a season of reffing. Give me that number, and I will match it for you to coach our team. Does that sound fair? I need a good soccer coach. I interview soccer coaches all the time trying to find a good soccer coach, and everyone, I'm like, you're terrible. And I have high standards because I was a soccer player. I have high standards. So I can't, I need a good soccer coach. I have a really good girls soccer coach. I have a really good middle school girls soccer coach. I have no boys soccer coaches at all. I need help. Seaton. Help me. Come on. I'll pay you whatever you're making reffing. Okay. I'll pay you to be our coach. And it'll be more fun. It's more rewarding when you can give back to the kids and you can invest into them individually rather than just throwing up a yellow card when someone tackles somebody. There's more to life, Seaton, than just throwing up yellow cards. You got to start investing into the kids of the future. I'm down, Tree. I'm down. No, they get paid well. Trust me. I write the checks. Refs get paid really well. I'm telling you that right now. All right, that's it. I got to end it there. I'll see you guys very soon. I love you guys. We'll talk either tomorrow night. Either way, we'll talk after the Falcons game. So we'll have something to talk about. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys soon. As always, go Jags.